Cameron texted Megan on May 9th, asking, I didn't see you text, Kevin screaming, what is this? Megan responds, what is what? Question mark. And then Cameron sent the photo here, inquiring what these marks are. He says, I think the bib off her neck is all red from it. You see those little like marks, is that her scratching herself?
We also see a bottle in that picture.
Yes.
And does the conversation continue on to the next slide?
Yes, the conversation continues here. Megan responds, probably from, prods is from the bib, throw it out. Cameron then replies, okay. And then Megan responds, I don't think so because I cut her nails. And I presume this is going back to the conversation about the scratches, when he was scratching himself. Then Megan says, today. Cameron says, what could that be? Like an allergic reaction or an irritation to the material of the bib? Because you said something last time too about it. So I think it's the bib. Megan then responds, I got hella more. And then she loved Cameron's, okay, well, I'm just gonna throw it out. She reacted to that and loved it with the heart. And then Cameron's trying to locate the bibs and says, oh shit, seriously, where are they at? With the laughing, crying emoji. Yeah, toss it. And they're in the second drawer, top left in kid's room. Under all the socks and hats, I have a few bibs in there, and I'll bring some home from here. And then a little bit later in the conversation, Cameron then sends a picture of Makenna where her face is red. I know I'm probably tripping, but is this from the shots? It's tripping me out.
And he sent that to the defendant?
Yes.
The defendant's response?
Yes, the defendant's response in the blue box was, you're tripping because I don't know what you're talking about with the laughing, crying emoji. Doesn't she look blotchy red? Megan responds, yeah, she gets like that sometimes. Is she hot? Cameron says no. And then Megan responds, then I'm not sure. I've noticed it too in a few pics I've taken of her.
Moving on to this next slide here.
The next slide is from March 30th, where there's a conversation or a photo we'll see here in Megan's iCloud. This photo was taken when we saw earlier. That was the live photo, and this one was dated March 30th, 2024. As you can see, there's bruising here in the collarbone area.
Are you able to say whether this was in a conversation between the defendant and Cameron Dreyer?
Yeah, they were talking about I did not have the full conversation included in here because I believe at the time they were just talking about kind of having a cold or being sick at the time. But it was located like a conversation relevant to her overall health. And then on April 9th and then on April 10th, 2024 is when kind of fell off the bed, and we will see here the timeline sequence of events of the text messages and of the photos from the fall.
Is this slide essentially what you just stated?
Text messages. One of the key points that we'll find here in the timeline is that on April 9th, 2024 at 7:05 p.m., Cameron states in a text message to Megan advising that Makenna fell off the bed and onto the tile floor. We will also see that conversation throughout the day includes discussion regarding drug purchases and drug usage. To start the sequence of events on April 9th, the photo on the next slide is taken at 11:54. The photo does not contain any visible bruising or marks on the forehead or above the right eye, which we can subsequently see in the slides.
What is this next slide?
This is a photo of Makenna with Cameron. This photo was taken here on April 9th at 11:54 a.m. and she is like laying on him or falling on him here. And you can see that there is no mark or any sort of injury right side of her face.
Is that what you've noted in this next slide here?
Yes, as you can see, there's no cut or mark in this area, which we will see later.
Moving on to the next slide, is this the beginning of the conversation that is occurring?
Yes, so on April 9th at 10 a.m., Megan states, I'm finished getting money now. Cameron responds, okay. Megan then responds, yes, sir, I'm gonna need it back. She says, I got $100, I think. Cameron responds, oh shit, for real. Megan then responds, yeah, I saw two $50 gift cards. And then says $75 with like an eye roll emoji in there.
In the next slide, does the conversation continue?
In the next slide, Megan then it says, I need Bud too, if you can ask dude, like pick up when you pick me up. Cameron then responds, okay, just text me and I'll text it. And says, how much? Megan responds, okay, I don't know yet. Cameron responds, okay, hey, well, just let me know. And then Megan responds, okay.
Does the conversation continue?
Yes, the conversation continues here. Megan asking, what should I do, Bud or Dad's? Cameron responds, what do you mean? I mean, I feel like Dad's, which I'm assuming is a typo for Dad's, you'd be going through Bud. Megan responds, because Bud easy to go through, and well, it might just be Bud because we can't find anyone who exchanges $50 gift card for cash, and no dad plug will take the gift card. Cameron responds, okay, well, how much do you need? If I get Bud, I'm thinking I'll spend like 30 or 40. Cameron then responds, says, what you guys doing? Megan responds, trying to find a plug or trying to find someone to exchange gift card for money, or cash.
And at this point, it's about 12:11 p.m.
Yes, that's correct. Megan then responds, so let me know what your people say about the Bud, because wax a no-go. Cameron responds, I will, my baby. Cameron then says, he said, yeah. Megan reacts to that and says, no problem, beautiful. How much? Before either or. And then Cameron says, I'm waiting on him to text back. Maybe half an hour later. So we jump ahead to the conversation here to about 4 p.m., 4:12 p.m.
They're still discussing the same matter?
Yes, yes. Cameron then says, because that was necessary to say, like you knew it was gonna piss me off. I'm not getting Bud, I'm not getting nuggets, I'll sleep at my mom's and leave you alone. That make you happy? Cameron says, no, that don't make me happy. Megan then says, it's stupid. Cameron says, I know, babe, I'm sorry, I'll make sure you have it for when you get back. Megan then responds, and what happens when dude can't provide at all? Then what? Then I'm shit out of luck and even more upset. At 6:18 p.m., Cameron then responds, no, I'll just go to him. I'm gonna make him give me more for wasting my time, but he gonna head to us. Megan then responds, he already said that. Why are you talking to him about shrooms? Okay then. Weird. And then at 6:20, Cameron responds, he just got picked up, babe. Can we not do this? I was on the phone, can you stop being crabby? Megan then says, again, why are you talking to him about shrooms? Like, why ignore that question? Cameron then responds, because I was seeing if I was gonna have them for next weekend, relax. Megan responds, Cameron then states, can we not argue? Megan responds, I'll just leave you, you can't get yourself all worked up over it. And we jump forward to the conversation here at 7:05 p.m. of Makenna on the floor on the tile. He at 7:05 texts Megan and says, look where I found Makenna. He also says, she okay though, I looked at her. At 7:07, within about 43 seconds later, Megan responds, oh my fucking God, no fucking way. There's no way she's okay. And then we can see here in the metadata that this photo was created on April 9th, 2024 at about 7:05 p.m. This is more photo, or more zoomed in of the photo kind of on the tile floor. At 7:08, Megan says she fell off the bed.
Is this the same, it's a continuation of the same conversation we just saw Cameron send the defendant the photo of Makenna?
Yes, this is a continuation. In the previous slide, we're just going over the photo that was in the conversation. At 7:08, Cameron then responds, yeah, she's okay though, she chillin'. Megan responds, there's no way. Babe, that's a long drop for a baby. And she says also her head definitely hit the floor. Cameron says, babe, she chillin'. I looked at her and her head isn't lumped and she's not crying right now, she's chillin'. Megan then says, ain't no way, she's definitely gonna have a lump. This is at 7:10. Cameron sends a photo of Makenna on what appears to be either on the bed or on his lap.
So about a minute after that last text that was sent saying there's no way.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And then we shift the conversation here to 7:12, about a minute and a half later. Cameron says, I need you to answer, what's your cash app? Megan responds that her cash tag is Megan Bayko 420. And then Cameron says at 7:19, he said he's sending other 10 in like 20 minutes. Megan then responds, okay. This is the metadata on this photo and more zoomed in. We'll see in the next slide more zoomed in. This photo, again, was taken at 7. This photo was taken at 7:10 p.m. on April 9, 2024.
And that's within the same minute that it was sent to the defendant?
Here at 7:10 in this photo that there is a mark above her eye. And then at 7:30 on April 9th, so it's just been about 20 minutes from when that photo was taken, Cameron then says, I'm gonna stay here with Makenna. I really don't wanna leave her alone. Megan then says, do the sign. Cameron then responds, I'm bringing her out then. Megan replies, that's fine, and then says, coming home. And then says, we got paper signed. Cameron responds, bet, I'm doing sign now, and Megan responds, okay. Megan says, at 8:01, says, where that other $10 at though? And then says again, where that other $10 at though, with an emoji of, appears to be a frown. It's really hard to see. Cameron then responds, let me text him. Megan responds, okay. And then there's a little bit of a lull in the conversation, and at 8:37 p.m., Cameron texts, what are you doing? Megan responds, smoking, what are you doing, baby? Cameron then responds, hurry. Megan says, okay, baby. As we see here, it's still the hurry, okay. And then about 6 minutes have elapsed where Cameron says, yo. Megan responds, yo. Cameron then responds, the fuck you doing, with the laughing, crying emoji. Megan's response is then smoking and trolling Calvin. Cameron then asks, did he send the 10? Megan says, no, sir. Cameron says, I'm going to call him. At 8:50, Cameron says, yo, what the fuck? With the laughing, crying emoji. Megan then is saying, I know. Cameron then sends 3 come on messages to Megan. And then at 8:52, Megan responds, wait, daddy, please, I'm smoking with Carrie. We are having a good time. Come join us. Come on by Yeet Banger. We're all within 30 seconds of each other. It is now 11:38 p.m. Cameron is saying, come on in here at 11:38 between, and then we'll see in the conversation where Megan says, because you either truly don't even care about me or you just don't give a fuck to ever pay attention to me. I don't want to go. Cameron says, I already turned around, come on. And then Megan responds, I don't want to. At 11:40, about a minute and a half later, or a minute and a half later, Cameron then says, here. Megan replies, so there's no point in talking about it anymore. I don't want to go. Cameron then asks, why is there an issue? I thought he was chilling. Megan says, no, I'm not one bit. Cameron asks why. Well, we got robbed by your friend, which now I'm not even willing to buy shrooms off of him. Then we can't get nuggets because of it. Then I tell you I haven't ate all day and it still doesn't matter to you, so why should I care about eating at this point? And then I ask you several times if you can leave so you can get home so I can just go to bed and you can sit and play your game. Megan then continues with, I don't give a fuck about the friend or the food or you not leaving right away. It's the principle of you don't pay attention nor care about anything I ever have to say. Or at least you make sure I feel like that sometimes. And then as we go into April 10th, right at midnight, Megan says, I want to wake Kenna up. I want to snuggle with her.
So this is moving into the late early morning hours of the next day from when Kenna fell off.
Yeah, if you 10 minutes after they had it in the previous slide.
And Makenna, at least according to the photograph, Makenna was found on the floor falling from the bed around 7 p.m. on April 9th.
Yes. At 12:05, Cameron says, I know I did too, but I just let her sleep. Megan responds with ... Cameron says, you woke her up already, didn't you? With the crying, laughing emoji. And then Megan sends a picture at 12:05 of Makenna awake. At 12:06, Megan responds, indeed I did, with the laughing, crying emoji. Cameron reacted and laughed at an image. And then Megan responds, we having a good time. And then Cameron says, I'm dead, you just couldn't help yourself, huh? With the crying, laughing emoji. Megan says, I could not move a bit. And then Cameron says, what's she doing? And Megan sent a video. Megan also responds, thugging at 12:09. Cameron reacted by laughing at that movie and then said she had moved. And then the conversation wraps up here at 12. As she is, and that is the last message of the conversation on April 10th. Presumably went to sleep, and then at 8:12 a.m. she responds, he sent $8, but that's fine. And then on April 10th at 10:37 a.m., Cameron then sent the picture of Makenna falling or being on the tile floor. Sent this photo again to Megan. And Megan responds, Cameron then says, laughing my fucking ass off, I'm sorry, but when I send that, it means I'm mad sad. Megan responds to that with, you're fucked, with a laughing, crying emoji. Cameron then says, laughing my fucking ass off, you already know it, with the laughing, crying emoji. And then we can see here the photo that Cameron had taken in, like, I guess edited to create that, was created on April 10th. This is in UTC time, so take more off that and get to 7 a.m.
You said this is something that is created?
Yeah, he's like essentially making like a meme or a GIF where he has taken the photo and like somewhat edited it, so it's just the tile floor is no longer visible. As you can see here, he has just like cut the tile out, but you can see that there is a little bit conversation between Megan and Cameron where Megan alleges Cameron leaves bruises on Megan. Megan's in the blue boxes and Cameron's in gray boxes. This was located in Megan's iCloud. Excuse me. Cameron starts with, "You always say that, like, because I know what I said. That's why I caught an attitude. No one called you a piece of shit or none of that. No one said you don't do shit right now, and how is that?" Megan responds, "You got it. You got it. 100% you got it." Says, like, "Are you not happy?" Megan says, "Are you not? Because you show it every single day." Cameron says, "I'm happy. You're the one who acts like you're not happy. I tell you I'm happy with you and I love you." Megan says, "I do the same. So how do I act like I'm not happy?" And then here Megan says, "Because I don't like you leaving bruises on me, or yelling at me, or calling me names. I don't care if you're joking or not. So I get an attitude because I don't like those things. That makes me seem like I'm not happy, or telling me I can't take Makenna to my mom's." Cameron then says, no, not that that's understandable, and when do I yell at you? And then I won't call you names, don't call me names, and because you call me a hoe and shit all the time. Well, take Makenna to your mom's. All I asked was wait till Sunday, but you know, if you wanna go, then go." Megan says, like, "Actually, what? You don't post me, you don't cuddle me, you don't tag me in anything. You wouldn't give me a kiss before you left anywhere unless I reminded you to. You'd rather sit on your phone or the game than talk to me. You'd rather be in the shower for an hour on your phone than spend time with me."
What are the next slides that we are about to see?
What's that?
What are the next slides we're about to see?
On April 27th, we have a conversation where Megan is in the blue boxes and Cameron is in the gray boxes. Cameron says, "Well, no, your mom's gonna have to bring it unless we're bringing both of them." Megan says, "I just think you don't wanna go. It's 2 minutes away. We leave Makenna unattended, sleeping all the time, and Brooklyn and I can watch her on camera. No, I do. I've been waiting on this dip. Or ask Layla to watch them. So what sense does it make to wait until 5? Cameron says, "Let's go, come on, for the dip." And Megan says, "For the dip." On April 29th, 2024, there is a video and a text message conversation involving use of a taser to run Makenna. And that's what we'll see here in the next slide. The following screenshots will be conversation images and videos were located in Cameron's iCloud. Videos and conversation were not located in Megan's iCloud. Conversation participants include Cameron in the blue boxes, Megan in the gray boxes, Cameron's mother, and Cameron's grandmother. They are both in the gray boxes. The video files are not embedded in this PowerPoint. We will have to show those separately. The video metadata, though, is included in this PowerPoint. Megan says, "Can someone tell Cameron it is not fun to play with a taser with Makenna? 2 thumbs down emojis." And then the video, Cameron was sent with this conversation.
And are there some stills from that video embedded in here, I believe you noted?
Yes. And then, Cameron's mother says, "Cameron William, you better stop it. What is he doing with it?" Cameron's grandmother then says, "That's definitely a big no-no. She is a baby, not a play toy." Cameron says she likes it, with 2 laughing, crying emojis. Megan then says, "He said if you were home, he was gonna tase you." And then this is the, on April 29th, the video had been created at 9:47 p.m. This is a still of the video with the taser. As you can see, he is holding it above Makenna, and then he has activated it, and it is discharging here above Makenna as well.
Whoever said that, there are going to be no comments about any of the evidence while the evidence is being presented.
in the conversation?
Yes.
No, Philip took this letter.
Did that conversation continue between those individuals?
Yes. Cameron had then taken a picture of Makenna laying on the bed. And then Cameron's mother says, "What is wrong with you?" with a frowning emoji. Cameron says, "Ma, I did not," with a laughing crying emoji. Cameron's grandmother then says, "You are going to make her go blind." And then Cameron's mother says he would die. Cameron then says, "Laughing my fucking ass off." This was a photo, the photo that was in the conversation. This is the more zoomed in here a little bit, and then the metadata where it was taken.
And on this next slide, did you make a note of it, anything on that photo?
Yes, there is a bruise right here on her cheek as well. The conversation continues at 9:54, where there is a second video that we will see.
Who sent that?
Or I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Megan had sent this video at 9:54, where is in the conversation. Megan that says, "And trying to make me say I'm kidding."
So we have seen many texts where the blue bubble was the defendant. This conversation, I believe you noted in your presentation and your testimony, was not found in the defendant's iCloud, it was found in Cameron Dreyer's iCloud, correct?
That is correct.
So the defendant's statements are in gray bubbles.
Yes.
And this first bubble, that was the defendant's text, which was a video?
Yes, so Megan sent a video, PM. And then at 9:54, she then says, "Then trying to make me say I'm kidding." Megan then responds with love and image. Megan then says, "Bro, you stop." Or I'm sorry, this is Cameron's mother saying, "Bro, you stop," and Megan hide that from his ass. Megan then says, "Oh, I am." Cameron's grandmother says, "Quit torturing my baby or I will come take her from you." Cameron says, "Oh, you think." Cameron's grandmother says, "I don't think I know." And the subsequent video that we will see here in the metadata shows that it was taken on April 29th at 9:54 p.m. This slide here is Cameron holding the taser, and this is a still from the video, but as you can see here, the taser is right here, and he has it pressed up against Makenna's torso right here as well. And more zoomed in, you can see the taser is right here on the torso, and then as you can see, this video will show he has it activated, holding it above her.
And I'll pause the zone that within your presentation, there was stills from a video that the defendant had sent into the group chat, is that right?
Yes.
And we were about to play that video, which was included in the exhibit, but could not be embedded within the presentation.
That's correct.
I'm going to play the video, start off.
Or you,
Sound is not.
Good, yeah, they get it.
or you gonna do what? Or you gonna do what?
then says, I tase myself willingly and you pussies can't even do a little second. Cameron's grandmother then says, it's different for babies and adults. Leave her alone before I bust your ass. Cameron says, no, it's not. I'm gonna tase you if it's so different, with a laughing, crying emoji. His grandma then says, just treat her like a baby girl instead of a grown up. Cameron then says, I do. She liked the taser, the laughing, crying emoji. And then his grandmother then says, and I'm pretty sure she does not, and you should not be doing that to her. Cameron then responds, well, she liked it, he'll come to tase you. And then on May 20th here, we have a text message conversation that is talking about an incident that may have occurred around Cameron. So on May 20th, 2024, there's text messages between Megan and Cameron where Cameron advises Makenna has a black eye from a video game controller. Megan is in the blue boxes, Cameron is in the gray boxes, and then this was located in Megan's iCloud. The photos that are included in here depict the bruising on Makenna's face. On May 20th, at 10:31 a.m., Cameron says, you're about to be so fucking mad at me. Megan then responds, why? What you do? And then she says, I think we will be done at 4. That's what they're talking about. She also then finishes her response with, what did you do? Me and Kenna were chilling on the game, and this little girl hit the controller. It fell on her face, and now she got a black eye. She cried and started laughing, like she knew what she did. And Cameron also then says, and okay, just let me know when to leave. It's hard to tell what that one is. And Cameron says, and okay, yes. Megan then sends, at 4:34, sends a Amazon link to, at this point, on May 20th.
And then it says,
Yeah, the item description that was provided on the Amazon link is baby helmet for crawling, walking, baby head protector, no bumps, soft cushion, infant baby safety head guard, toddler helmets 1 to 2 years old, 6 to 12 months. So to recap, the photos that we see here, there's a photo that we discussed earlier that's dated May 15th, where there's bruising on her bridge of her nose and the forehead. And then we also see the bruising, on the bridge of her nose, here on her shoulder, torso area, and then on the forehead. And then we have the injuries, bruising on the left cheek.
and why did you include these photographs within this section with the conversation about the game controller?
I thought it was unusual that Makenna had significant bruising already, noticeable bruising in and around her eye and on her face. And then there was discussion about an incident, but then it seems odd to me that there's no other conversation about the bruising that happened leading up to it. I didn't necessarily follow the sequence of events because I thought they were going to be talking more about the bruising that already had been there, or discussing that there's an additional bruise.
And you didn't find such discussions before the game controller about bruising?
Correct. Other than what we had already talked about.
Were there additional?
That's what mommy did to me. Now you get it too. You got stuff on your face. Alright. Cut.
Now going to the video.
She need a crybaby.
Founding.
I believe they were in Megan's iCloud.
police officer as well?
No, I am not. I am not a sworn law enforcement officer.
So it's more of a like technology position you carry?
Somewhat, I am a criminal intelligence analyst. I'm considered more of a law enforcement support personnel. My role is more in,
Cloud?
yes,
And it was your, part and parcel of your job in this case to analyze the clouds from both Megan, Bayko, and Karen Dryer's cell phones, is that correct?
yes.
Did that evidence come right to you by email, was that your testimony?
No, the evidence was provided by Detective Spinks, my supervisor, in person. They were driven to Columbus, since
Yeah.
that's where my office is located,
Okay, so
for any assistance with any criminal investigation.
just so that we're all straight, so Willowick Police Department got a hold of the Ohio State Patrol,
Yes,
and then the Ohio State Patrol got a hold of the Attorney General's office?
no, at the time of this request, so Detective Spinks contacted the Ohio State Highway Patrol Intelligence Unit in May of 2025. I was employed there at that time.
Okay,
And then in November of 2025, I left the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and now I'm currently employed with the Ohio Attorney General's office.
so your engagement for this iCloud analysis was during the term that you were employed by the Ohio State Patrol?
That is correct.
Okay.
My review started when she was born, so I started looking at photos of even when the conversations when Makenna was born, there was conversations in the hospital. From then, that's when I started looking forward.
So just so the jury were all clear, the top tens and thousands, or maybe you recall the beginning date, well before November of 23?
Yeah, I don't recall the beginning date, but I believe Cameron had stuff in there from 2021, if not even a little older.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that cloud shows every picture that would have been and or text, from whenever they had the electronic device, whether it be an iPhone. Is it only iPhone?
It can be iCloud, or sorry, iPad, depending on the devices that they have connected to that account.
But it has to be an Apple product?
Yes,
Okay, so if there was a time prior to the Apple phone, and they would have had, a different device, cell phone, a Droid or, any other manufacturer, those would not go to the iCloud.
that is correct.
Did you have an opportunity to find out if you did, whether there was another device used, by Megan or Cameron?
I am not aware if there was another device or not. These are the only two devices provided to me.
Now, clearly, I know you indicated that you were somewhat surprised there wasn't more conversation about some certain photographs just prior to that tasing video, correct?
Correct.
And that was in regard to some bruises that you saw prior to that date.
Yes,
Clearly, we don't all put everything, all of our conversations between humans in text, would you agree?
correct.
And we can't say today whether or not Megan had conversations in person with Cameron regarding how these bruises occurred, or what should we do about the bruises, correct?
Correct.
We don't know if Megan discussed in person any of these bruises with her mother or grandmother, correct?
Correct.
And it wouldn't necessarily contain in the text message all the communication between people about any issue, would you agree?
Yes, I agree.
All the photos of Makenna Korea that were in the iPods.
Yes.
Did you find any bruising before March of 2024?
I did. If there were, it was probably pretty small and insignificant. But any bruising that was notable was included in the presentation.
No further questions.
You cross based on that?
No, Your Honor.
Very good, thank you. The trial is over. If the motion is not granted, you will have the opportunity to present evidence, but you do not have to. You have the right to testify at this trial if you want to. You also have the right not to testify if you do not want to. The decision to testify or not testify, you will be subject to cross. Okay, if we start at 1, we'll be looking at for the balance of today.
I think we may be done by 2, we are leaving 2:30.
2, my point to 3.
Whatever witnesses will be wrapped up around 2:15, depending on cross-examination.
I don't know cross-examination wise, but yes, our direct and
Okay,
should be, but that's fine.
very good. We'll see you back at 1 o'clock.
All right.
Yeah.